Hello everybody and welcome back to LMM, and if you're enjoying what you're seeing on the channel at the moment, how about giving this video a like and maybe subscribing to the channel to help us grow, and perhaps even check out our Patreon. Today I've returned to the Colne Valley Railway to see my latest acquisition that was bought with the help of you guys to stop it from being sent to scrap. Transport has now been booked to take this to its new home at the Whitwell and Reepham Railway to join my other Ruston that went to a scrapyard that's being worked on. However, before we take it away, we thought it would be apt, considering this has never done anything at this railway, certainly not this millennium, to make sure that it did a full line run with the train to mark the end. So with that, it's time to go get it fired up, drive, find ourselves a nice short train, and go and enjoy this railway one last time before it moves on. But before we get into all of that, a word from this video's sponsor, who are AWI, Audio with Intelligence. You see, audio is the single most important thing in a video. You'll listen to a bad picture, but you won't listen to bad audio. And that's where these guys come in with this thing here. This is an SR3D. It is a binaural microphone, which means depending on where I am, it changes how you hear things, and that's down to this thing's design. You see, these things look quite weird. They're moulded on actual ears to mimic the way that sound would hit your own ears and go in there. So you hear things. So if I come over here, you hear it over here, and over here, you hear it over here. They're also absolutely super for going out and doing field work because that shape helps shield them from the wind, as do the fluffies on them. So I've been using these a lot on my shoots, and I think they're actually really good. For more information, go check out the link in the video description, and there's an affiliate code there, so if you get them, helps me out too. Now, let's go see if this 165 will move.
As ever, the first thing to do was to fire the donkey engine into life so we could start generating air for the air start system. And I just loved the sound that this thing makes. And once we'd made air, I started oiling up, to which I had varying degrees of success.
Oh.
You'd have thought that I'd done this enough times that I'd be getting better at it, but no.
Now I didn't miss there. What I've done is just preserve that particular oiler for future generations to enjoy.
My pouring efforts didn't really get any better. The loco had been moved and its new position made oiling up almost impossible. And after a lot of struggling, I moved on to doing the rocker covers inside the engine bay. And then I could generate some oil pressure and get ready to fire the beast back up into life. Stage 1 was to go backwards.
So what we're about to do is a load test. We're going to shove all this train here, which is over 100 tonnes, slightly backwards, and see if the ye old gearbox is good enough to move a heavy train.
Having successfully shunted the train back and out the way, we uncoupled and headed off in search of a train of our very own. Throwing the point in front of us gave us access to a siding with a wagon and brake van, so we went to get that. And having coupled up, we could head out onto the line. Having now got our train, the next stage was to propel back to the end of the line, ready to do our full line working.
Right, you ready? And here we go. Now, this is the first time, to our knowledge, that this thing has ever pulled a train here on the Colne Valley Railway. Take it up and try for second. Okay, so not the smoothest gear change, but we're going. Obviously, this is quite a big locomotive, and to have two wagons behind it, well, a 20-ton brake van and a tube wagon, is of no consequence for it whatsoever. But for me, it is quite reassuring to know that it's completely unbothered by having a train. And also, running it here, it just looks so right. A small diesel shunter and a small train. It looks so very light railway, so very branch line. And of course, I'm very honoured to be able to take it out for a run and see what it will do, because it's rare you get the opportunity when buying something like a locomotive to really take it out for a good try.
From the air, with the two wagons, it's got a kind of Hornby starter train set vibe going on. I'm pretty sure Hornby do a little 040 about this size, and yep, this pretty much is a starter train set.
A super kind gesture from the railway to give me the opportunity to take this thing out and go for a trip down the line to put this through its paces. It means that I've got a good idea of what it is that we all have collectively walked. And that would appear to be a functioning locomotive. I know, right? Absolutely mental. But it just seems to be working, doing exactly what it's meant to do. by this little machine. So as we come through the station and head over the level crossing, the line drops down, and this is the perfect opportunity to see what we could do if we swap up a gear. So last time we got to third, we never tried fourth. I feel that maybe with a loaded train, this is the time to really give it some oomph and see what it will do. I've also not driven down this section of the line before, so this is an exciting new thing for me to be able to travel somewhere new. Up ahead we have the line speed that says 25 miles an hour, so we can do 15 on this flat out. Well, I'm going to give it a try. This is honestly magical. This is exceeding my most wild dreams to be able to be on this and to take it out for a run and to actually do something with it. Right, that's the 25 miles an hour, so that's third gear. That's fourth. Now this is certainly the most pretty part of the railway as we come along here. It feels so very light railway, so very branch line running through here. To actually do something with this. It's a proper symphony of noise in here. This has got to be one of the best things I think I've ever had the opportunity to do, to actually drive this properly, to test it with a train and run a heritage railway with it. I just can't wait for what the future holds with it. I'm so excited. And as we come to a halt at the other end of the line, that was incredible. That was just the absolute best thing ever. Taking my new loco out for a test run with a train. That's just, I don't have the words. And he did it, and he's happy about it. Oh man, this is amazing.
And just like that, we've made it to the other end of the line. Now, this is exciting for a number of reasons. Firstly, I've never driven here. And secondly, we don't think that this has ever been to this end of the line. And certainly, this is the first time it's pulled a train from one end to the other. And that is quite an amazing feat. First train, certainly this millennium. And we're not entirely sure because we don't know what it got up to at county school. We know it did stuff. But this might well be its first train ever in preservation. Correct me if I'm wrong, because we don't know that much about county school, and I know a couple of guys who watch the videos know it when it was at county school. But this could be the first time it's ever done a train in preservation. And that just blows my mind. In 2024, to be able to do something a first in preservation for a locomotive is outstanding. Now this thing as well is quite an important little loco. This was the second diesel that was supplied to British Sugar. This marked the end for steam, although they did have a couple of steam engines kind of come into service after this, but this marked the end of steam for British Sugar. This marked the start of the changing times. So it's a really important locomotive to tell the story of railways and the Industrial Revolution and how things changed. It's also a locomotive that's had an impact on so many people. If you consider this thing worked for a sugar beet factory producing sugar, how many lives were touched by sugar that we all have in our diet, whether we want it or not? This thing arguably has touched more people's lives than, say, Flying Scotsman. And you could argue that this is more important to preservation than something like Flying Scotsman because of the link it has with the everyday working people. And with that, well, that's it. This is its last train that it's ever going to haul at the Colne Valley Railway, and quite possibly as well the first one it's ever hauled here. What a stunningly pretty end of the line to end up with. So all that remains for us is to trundle back, park it up, and wait for the lorry to turn up, ready to take it away to its new home and start the next part of its adventure. And if you have enjoyed what you've seen here at the Colne Valley Railway, there's a link to their website in the video description so you can get involved. And with that, I'm going to fire it up and take it back. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the next bit of the adventure where it moves. Well, yeah, to a new home. Ta-da!
And if you want to come and see 281266 yourself and see just what it is that we've acquired, then all being well, the locomotive will be on display at the Whitwell and Reepham Railway on the 10th of August for our LMM Day. And you'll be able to see how we're getting on with the other Ruston that we saved from scrap, 393, 303, and talk to some of the volunteers who have been working on it. And not being content with just that, my Ruston 48 Sir William McAlpine will be giving footplate rides and driver for a tenner, and my Dennis RS dupes will be there offering rides as well as a selection of the fleet. So we hope to see you at the Whitwell and Reepham Railway on the 10th of August. And bring your own vehicle or join the lineup of weird and quirky vehicles. So see you on the 10th, and click somewhere over there for the first time this moved, or over there for something else. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the 10th of August. Ta-ra!